We're lucky to have with us Rob O'Neill, the former Navy SEAL, the man who killed Osama bin Laden, who can speak to the type of raid that is going on and also the fight ahead, not only for French authorities, but us here at home. Rob, just what is your gut when you hear about this?
Well, my first reaction is hearing that the president said it's a law enforcement action, which technically it is because they're police. But when you've got grenades and suicide bombers and ISIS, maybe it's something.
Maybe the mastermind, potentially, they're trying to.
The mastermind of one of the worst terrorist attacks in the history of the world. Maybe we can admit what it is. Still waiting on that to call it what it is. But my initial reaction is just that, just because of the massive fighting in the streets north of Paris, that they're protecting something. Something's in there. We saw this on the bin Laden raid when we first tried to breach the outdoor gate, and it opened and there's a brick wall behind it. People are thinking this is bad. I'm thinking, no, this is good because something's in there. This is a fake, or this is something's guarding it. So I'm thinking something is there. Like I was saying earlier, if not the mastermind himself, then definitely something for a plot in the near future. But there's something big there. French police have done a great job fighting.
I was going to say, in terms of the kind of tactics, that we have very little detail about actually what was going on, but the fact that they were able to identify this building, clearly there were terror suspects there. If a woman is willing to kill herself when the raid happens, the fact that they were able to identify it and come at it with such aggression, but still protect the neighborhood.
Yeah, first off,
very dense area.
For the French SWAT team to walk into AK-47s being fired, that takes guts. I'm assuming what they did then is because they did use a dog. I understand the dog was killed by a suicide bomber. Then they're going to go into what we used to call a barricaded flow. They're going to get a shield guy out there, which is not the most fun job, but you're carrying a big ballistic shield. That probably took some bullets there. You have the SWAT team behind it, and just clear room to room because you don't know where they're hiding. They're not exactly fair fighters, so you need to clear every little space, try to find the unknowns, try to find the terrorists, and eliminate the threats.
There is an article in the Washington Times today, and I just point to it. I read the article, but I'll point to the headline that the FBI is bracing for Islamic State holiday terror attacks. In terms of what we are willing to accept about these radical Islamic terrorists here and our capabilities, because so much of our surveillance capability has been dialed back in the United States, how confident are you in our law enforcement abilities and our intelligence community here?
I'm very confident in our intelligence and law enforcement with their abilities to follow signal intelligence and track some phones. But they themselves admitted, even the director of the CIA is saying that it's a lot harder now because a lot of the rules that we've placed on ourselves, because people have been misinformed that for some reason we've got this major data center where everyone's listening to call your mom.
Right. We have 900 people under investigation in this country in 50 states, according to Jim Comey, and he too, even months ago, I think in the spring, was sounding alarms about the restrictions that they have on our surveillance.
There's too many restrictions, and we've seen it before, even before 9/11, when different agencies refuse to share intelligence because they want to be the one that owns the prize, and all of a sudden that bites you. And when we get bit, it hurts.
Two things. Yesterday, Police Commissioner Bratton said two things. Number one, he needs the cell phone companies to work with law enforcement to fix this whole untraceable phone thing. He said that's a tremendous impediment to them. And number two, Robert, which I was surprised at, because of what happened in France, the New York City Police Department has changed its policy, and any hostage situation, there'll be no negotiation under these terrorist type of, and they're just going to enter and just kill everyone, not kill everyone, kill whoever it is. There will be no negotiation, because we learned from France all they're doing is prolonging it, building themselves up for a more dramatic finale, and he's not going to allow that to happen.
I want to